Draft it. Hey, this is Draft it. This is Draft it Door One Shot. I've attempted to try to do this video multiple times. Currently, I'm actually waiting to. I'm going to do this video in my car for a short amount of time while I wait for my estranged, loving, whatever wife. So I've tried to do this on technology and on the benefits of technology and, slight history of technology and how it benefits society and how it can harm society. The last 2 years has been hard on a lot of people depending on where you are at in the world and the fact that it should have been conclusive using technology. What with everything going on, was it necessary for the shutdowns? Did governments across the world overstep? Was the virus from where the official story was? I know that at one time they did say it, but we found out that hey, a laptop can screw your day up, or it could be hidden that you weren't doing what you were doing with the laptop, and it benefited whatever. All right. It's both been a hindrance and the fact that corrupt people will benefit from it any way they can, meaning corrupt politicians, corrupt bureaucrats, corrupt business owners, big pharma, whatever, will benefit from it. Human nature is a bitch because are always greedy, and it doesn't matter how they'll get it through. All right. Corrupt men will always try to cover their asses and lie and cheat and steal. And technology can and sometimes helps them and sometimes hurts them. Now, the reason for this, I used to work manufacturing. I've worked a couple of different fields. I have like I said, my estranged wife is wanting me to go back into the job market. I don't want to. It's not that I don't want to work. I've hit my half a century mark a few years ago. I've never stayed anywhere long enough to get a pension. And if I did get, whatever, I've used it. My fault. Okay. But the last 2 years really changed my opinion on a lot of things. First off, I never ended up wanting to retire. My grandfather did it at 63, 65. My grandmother did a few years. She hit her 20-year, 22-year mark for the big three. Some people, they retire early from the big three or wherever. Over the past 30 years, I've seen people get forced out of, businesses that they never intended to leave, as in they were going to stay until they turned 63 and retire. I knew one guy that was going to stay for 50 years. He was 2 years shy of 50 years and retired earlier than he wanted. But he lucked out. I wanted to go to school. I no longer want to go back to school. As much as it sounds like it, whatever. It would have been for my second degree. And as much as it sounds like it's a great thing, because, you got this degree, it looks on paper, at job market, blah, blah, blah. Something, all I ever hear is about this job market and how, whatever, job market, gets affected by technology just as much as everything else. Depending on if it's big three, manufacturing, Walmart, and in some cases, worse. Okay. You got people out of jobs because they upgraded the tech, and the tech reduces the number of workers' necessity. The only type of people you need is maintenance people that got a degree in robotics or computer programming to make sure that the manufacturing lines are up and running and stable. You got people, thinking it's going to be beneficial for Amazon. Oh, they want 15, they want this, they don't want to work. So, yeah, get those things in here, do this. Yeah, teach them why they were wrong. Here's the thing. Most of the people that think that they know what's right and wrong generally don't. They've never thought anything through. They've listened to somebody else's bullshit about corporate policy, corporate this, corporate that, greed, and, whatever. Say, hey, you can go back to school for this. Markets end up being flooded. Okay, job markets end up being flooded. Things that look like you're going to make you money end up not. Fields think you're going to be great. We're always going to need people, and doesn't. Okay, oversaturation, undersaturation. Healthcare right now is shortage of a whole bunch of people because they tried to, push something that shouldn't have been pushed. Okay, now, health industry is hurting to a point. Manufacturing got hurt by, chip shortages in China. You got, countries trying to put tariffs on shit. To stop, hey, you're going to stop us here, we're going to put a tariff here, and, it influences markets. It influences jobs, not all the goods that comes out of these new techs is great. Some of the shoes I've gotten has lasted me a month, where I've had other shoes that last me almost a year and a half. A lot of this stuff with the last 2 years should have been easily rectified with tech. There should have been a conclusive, this is where it's from, this is what's going on, this is what it is, this is what should be going on. We should be making, there should be current remedy, this should have been wait on later, and a lot of corrupt people, benefited. Pushing agendas, trying to get, politicians out of office, staying in, the limelight more than what they should, using big tech as a benefit for whatever. Technology in all of its forms since its inception, and technology includes the basic wheel to a plow, to, glasses, is supposed to be to help people out. Okay? Make life better for people. If you're missing an arm, you gotta find a way to have, it originally was a peg leg or a hook. Now we got it where you can do, prosthetics. Maybe 10 years from now it'll be a full on Steve Austin. By the way, not the wrestler, the TV show. If you want a better analogy, Cyborg from Justice League. Okay, where people have, complete arms that are working. Grab, boom, 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 and it looks like a hand. Or thereabouts. It should benefit. It doesn't. It doesn't always. Human nature is a bitch. Human nature is causing a lot of calamities in this world. Rich people wanting to get rich. Powerful people want more power. Small people not understanding complexities. Complex people not trying to get things simplified a little bit more. As some people say, the rich get rich, the poor get poor. That's not always the case. Sometimes it's just, some shitbag decided that his back end was more important than somebody else's job, even if the other person can go out and restart and start anew from somewhere. Okay. It's also been helpful. It's gotten points of views across. I wouldn't have been able to do this 20 years ago. Okay. Or 15, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago. Okay. I would have had to have gone to get my opinion out some other way. Become a newscaster, find public access, try to get a show so I can get my, now I can just do it from my luxury of my car, put it on YouTube, Rumble, TikTok, and it's out there. Doesn't mean my opinion or the truth matters to anybody, because it doesn't. Okay, my opinion doesn't matter neither more than the truth does. As much as people like to say it does, no, people don't want the truth. They did. Most of this, Ukraine, pandemic, Trump, Obama, Hillary, CIA, whatever, would be out there and people would be able to deal with it and have no issue. People like being in the dark. They would rather be on their trips to Cancun with their family for 7 days, get home, go to their job, hoping that they got one or thinking that they have one, and putting their responsibility in somebody else's lap. Politician thinking the politician was going to be doing great. That's not how things are. And sadly, I wish it was. I'm an optimist at heart. With certain things, I wish it was. But it's not at all. I wish I had a better life than I have right now. Could I make it? Probably. Is there going to be drawbacks? I'm a cancer survivor. That wasn't something that hit me out of the blue. Oh, you can do this, you can do this. Cancer industry uses the technology to try to help people. We should have had more options by now. Okay. There should have been a clear cut, whatever. Do I see it disappearing in my lifetime? No. Do I see it disappearing in my kids' lifetime? Any form? No. And sadly, there's a whole lot of kids that are suffering because of it. But with that said, this is Draft It, and this is the Draft It Store. Have fun.